Top of the morning, Andy here. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. We're sick of seeing it, but we must have it in our arsenal, especially in Indonesia, where lots of project is now around beauty products, beauty here, beauty there, beauty whatsoever. So let me take you through my workflow to model and render it out, and let's jump into cinema. Okay, let's go. So first, let's open up the render settings. Make sure that this is advanced. Turn off GI, make all of the trace depth 1, turn off AUV for now, turn off automatic sampling, and we're good to go. Let's create a sphere. In this sphere, let's burn it into hexahedron. If I check on the lines, it looks like this. The topology is all of quads. We don't use icosa because, yeah, it's just I love quads, you know. So 150 here, 100 on this radius is okay. Now let's make the bubbles, small bubbles, maybe like 4. And the segment will be 12. We can't see the bubbles right now. In this sphere, let's put on the display tag. Yes, and make it line and make it isoparm. This isoparm only works when you use the primitives from Cinema 4D. When it turns to polygon, the isoparm cannot be used. All right, let's move on. Make this also hexahedron. You can see that little boy over there. Put it inside the cloner, and maybe the radius between each circle is like 12. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I want a bigger sphere. Yes, something like 10 radius is okay. So 10 times 2 will be 20. So 21, 21, 21. Let's make this like 666. Too much. 555. All right, that's good enough. Let's put in a random. Let's randomize the scale. Something like that is pretty good. And then after that, let's use push apart. Increase the iteration to 40, I think, and scale this down until you find the sweet spot for this. A clipping over here. Iteration cannot work, so maybe lower it up, something like that. All right, that's pretty good, I think. Now let's make this dynamic and make the bubbles like jumping around like the reference that we have. So in this sphere, let's put in simulation and collider. In this cloner, simulation and cloth. If I play, everything will just falling down and go into infinity and beyond. Let's go to the Control T. Simulation, turn the gravity off. Let's play and nothing will happen. Right. Because we need some force to make it moving around. So let's hit turbulence. The speed of maybe 3 and play around with this. Immediately you can see something jumping around. That's because it was clipping into the surface of the big sphere. And because the collider is facing outwards, we need to reverse it by collider side, choose back. So if we rewind, it would be working well. Let's increase this to 300. All right, cool. Let's move on. Now, what we want is the bubbles to be like squished around, moving around, and when it bumps into another bubble, it will be a little more squished. So to do that in the cloth, the quad diagonals, let's make it none. And let's play this. Immediately you can see it how it, you know, squeezed and just distorted, but distorted beautifully. Let's turn to NC. All right, I think I like that. Frequency. So these turbulence, they have like frequency, like the noise is moving around. Let's decrease this. All right, so I like that. Right, cool. I think we're good to go for renderings. Let's turn this on. Let's look at the cameras. Maybe 150 on the focal length. Zoom it out. Right click, right click, right click, right click. So we set all of the parameters. All right, cool. We got smooth circles over there. Let's bring in a dome light or HDRIs. I will bring in my HDRIs. This is my custom HDRIs. You can make it inside Photoshop. And the color space for Cinema 4D Redshift, make sure to put it in scene linear or 709 sRGB. If it that, okay, cool. Let's turn the background off and let's go make the material for the big sphere first. So big sphere. Let's turn off the diffuse and brings in transmission. You can't see anything yet. And let's bring in another material, small, sorry, bubbles. Bring it here and also kill this and brings transmission on. All right, let's play to find a sweet spot for our simulation. All right, right there, I think it's good. All right, so you can't see anything here. If I roll off the HDRI, all you can see is the surface is like, it's only a surface. It's not translucent material. If you remember in the globals, we turn all of the trace depths into one. So the trace depth cannot trace anything. It's just one bounce. It's just one value. In each of these material, there's also trace depth override in the optimization. If you turn it on, immediately you can see it beyond and you can see it through what the surface of the sphere, what's inside the sphere. Works the same for the bubbles. Let's turn it on. But why is it only black dots over there? To visualize this, in the outer sphere, there's air, and inside the bubbles, there's air. So the phase of the bubbles should be reversed so we can see the air inside of it, if that makes sense. So in this corner which contains the sphere, let's put it inside a null and brings in a reverse normal. And immediately a beautiful bubbles is made. Let's turn the roughness off for everything. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We don't have a lot of segments. We only have 12. So let's subdivide this. No, in the tags, render, redshift object, geometry overrides, and enable tessellation. Immediately you will see it smoothen out. Let's turn screen space adaptive off and maximum to only 1. So it'll render faster. All right, cool. Moving on, let's make the backdrop for this in Z. Oh no, I don't want a plane. Let's do it in a sphere. There's a choice for hemisphere. Let's turn this on the back side and scale it out. So it covers the whole sphere. Okay, let's bring in an area light. Now I have my own texture for this. It looks stupid, the texture is, but it works really well. Okay, so let's lock the cameras, see it from the side. Let's light it up, like bouncing light, and crank the powers of it. And increase the scale, I think. Neck this disk. Maybe something like that. And then copy this into the bottom. So we got glitching in the surface. That's pretty cool. Love it, love it. Spin this. Don't want to find a sweet spot. Okay, I like how it cuts through. Okay, cool. All right, moving on. something is missing here. We got big bubbles, but usually there's a small bubbles in the bubbles. So let's do this with particles. Simulate emitter, basic emitter, and bring in the sphere, scale it up, back to that, put a shot, and crank up 10,000, I think. Looks great. Seems good. Speed, zero it out. Radius, maybe like 0.1, and with a variance of 0.09. And back to frame 0 and play it again. And the particle just go beyond the collider sphere. We need to put inside the particle group of the emitter modifier called collide. Let's play this again. And yeah, it collided. So it runs through. Things that go off, that will be in another tutorial, but not for now. Okay. Okay, let's check it in the render. Immediately you can see the small dots of the small particles. Okay, let's put a Redshift tag and make this custom object and copy this sphere. Let's make it like maybe 1 and make this as a reference of the custom object. So sphere will be using, sorry, the particle will be using this sphere for the objects of the particles. And let's introduce the material, the water material. Immediately you can't see anything. It's also the same. We need to reverse it. So put this reverse norm and copy it inside the sphere. Let's crank the scale a little bit. I like to crank it inside the Redshift object. So maybe like 4. Yeah, that looks great. All right, cool. So in the yeah, I think that's pretty decent. Like it. So next, what next? Oh yeah, let's introduce colors into this. Fletch. That much. Blue, crash it with purple, I think, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Works also. Okay. We like this. Dome light, let's put some colors. So we got an ambient colors on it. Yeah, something like that. That looks beautiful. Okay, next step. What? In this sphere, I want to put some. Sorry. Next step. In this sphere, let's put some displacer. With the shading, we'll call in some noise. Not that much of noise. Let's pull this out. And immediately we can see a more interesting way to the bubble sphere. Play around with the seed, find something that you like. Maybe the displacement is too much. 4. Oh yeah, we can't see it because we have this tag. Kill the tag and let's turn this on. Yeah, I think that's enough. So yeah, that's how you make bubbles inside Cinema 4D and Redshift. That's my workflow. I hope this is useful for you. If it doesn't, then you can just give a like and subscribe. Maybe some follow in my Instagram and stuff. I don't do that shit, but yeah, thank you very much. Next aboard, signing out.